Thank you. It is great to be back. It's great to be back in northeastern Pennsylvania, and I just want to say, first and foremost, thank you. Thank you for giving me the greatest privilege of my life to be able to serve the people of Pennsylvania in the United States Senate for 12 years. So thank you all very much. God bless you for giving me that opportunity. I want to thank the Trump campaign for giving me the chance to say a few words here tonight. First thing I want to do is talk about the guy that was just out here. I've had a chance to know Dave McCormick for 25 years. I knew Dave McCormick 25 years ago when he was in Pittsburgh running a brand new high-tech organization that was transforming the landscape and the economy of Pittsburgh. He was a dynamic leader. He was creating jobs. He was bringing and attracting new dynamic industries to southwestern Pennsylvania. He then went on and worked in the administration and did the same thing, tried to create jobs and bring jobs back to America. I've known Dave as a hard worker for a long, long time. Dave McCormick, a soldier, an entrepreneur, someone who's worked in government, he is the real deal. I'll tell you who isn't the real deal. I happen to be old enough to remember the real Bob Casey. You see, the real Bob Casey is not the senator from Pennsylvania. The real Bob Casey was the governor of Pennsylvania. The real Bob Casey was the guy who was so popular because he stood up to his party, because he fought for what he believed was right, not for what the left wing of his party was pushing. He stood up, and in fact, he was so popular that lots and lots of people named Bob Casey ran for office and got elected because their name was Bob Casey. And one of them happened to be Bob Casey Jr., who got elected simply because his name was Bob Casey. I'll tell you what, I knew Bob Casey, the real Bob Casey. I worked with the real Bob Casey. I got along with the real Bob Casey. And Bob Casey Jr. is not the real Bob Casey. He is the fake Bob Casey. He is a guy that has not only not stood up to his party, he's voted with Harris and Biden 98% of the time. I'll tell you what, I am here today because the agenda of Harris, Biden, and Casey is a threat to the future of our country. It is the most radical, left-wing, anti-American platform that this country has ever seen. And I'm here for Donald J. Trump for one reason. Not just, well, I'll say two reasons. Number one, he has done the job. He has created the best economy in the history of our country. He protected our country from wars. He protected our country from illegal immigrants coming here and terrorists coming here. He did the job. He did the job for working men and women in this country. And I know that was his passion. Let me tell you a little story. 10 years ago, I had just run for president in 2012, and I wrote a book called Blue Collar Conservative and laid out an agenda talking about how we need to help working men and women in this country rise because they're getting crapped on by the politicians and bureaucrats in Washington and all of these big corporate behemoths. I was out doing a radio program and I got a call from Donald J. Trump. He says, I want to talk to you. So I went to New York and met with Donald J. Trump. And we sat there and he said, someone needs to stand up for working men and women in this country. Someone needs to run for president with them in mind. Everybody thinks MAGA was just some creation of some folks in some backroom politicians that were coming up with a new idea. This was in Donald Trump's heart and Donald Trump's soul to put American workers back to work. I said to him, why do you want to do this? You're already the most famous person in America. You already have more money than anybody could ever want. Why are you doing this? And his answer was, because I know the key to the greatness of America. I know the key to the happiness and success of people is to earn success, is to work and succeed and have pride in what you do to provide for yourself and your family, and I want to restore that pride in America. And he did. No president ever, his economic policies of any president in history never saw lower and middle income people's wages rising faster than higher income people. It's just the opposite under Biden. Real wage growth has plummeted under Biden and Harris. We need Donald Trump because we need to restore success in America. We need to restore pride in America. And we need to make America great again. Thank you, and God bless you.